Hey guys, it's Chloe. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be lubricating my Tacoma's propeller shaft, or in other words, its drive shaft. So this is a maintenance item that's actually really easy to do, but often overlooked. And I personally and honestly have overlooked it myself on my Tacoma because I didn't have a grease gun until recently, but honestly that is a horrible excuse because grease guns aren't even that expensive, but more importantly, keeping these parts lubricated will prevent wear. And also, if you take a look at your warranty and maintenance manual, you'll see that even after your first 5,000 miles, Toyota recommends this if you drive on dusty or dirty roads. I have a couple thousand off-road miles in my Tacoma back here, and dirt can contaminate your U-joint. So this maintenance item is especially important for me, which is why I'm going to be doing this today, and I'm going to walk you through everything you'll need on how to do this. First of all, before you go out and either buy grease to go do this or schedule maintenance with Toyota to have this maintenance item done, you should go underneath your truck, look at the drive shaft, and locate any Zerk fittings. The reason you'll want to do this is because I took a look underneath this truck, which is a 2019 TRD Off-Road 4-wheel drive, and I found 2 Zerk fittings on the front drive shaft, but none in the rear. I was looking to also do this on the 2020 Tacoma TRD Pro that I'm rebuilding, and surprisingly, I found 0 in the front and 0 in the rear, which is really interesting. I say this because I have no idea why the 2020 service manual says that you should lubricate the propeller shaft, just like the 2019 one does. As far as I can tell, the 2020 was sealed, so the only maintenance you could do on the drive shaft would be to replace the U-joints. Anyways, I did some online research, particularly on Tacoma World, and I found out that within these 3rd gen Tacomas, depending on your trim, depending on your year, and depending on whether you have a 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive Tacoma, you can have anywhere from 0 to a few Zerk fittings. And to those owners who have 0 Zerk fittings, this is one less maintenance item you have to think about. Anyways, I have 2, which is why I'm going to be doing this today, but moral of the story is get underneath your truck and see exactly what you have. So let's get into everything we'll need. Now, there are only a few items, and the first is a grease gun. Now, like I said before, this is my first grease gun. I just got this from Harbor Freight, but this one wasn't too bad. It was only about 20 or 30 bucks, and I'll show you how to use it when we get to greasing. And then of course we have to have our grease. So I'm using this Staplex Premium Red Grease by CRC. We basically want a lithium-based grease that's NLGI number 2 approved. That is actually what the Toyota manual specifically calls out. I've never used this stuff, but it fits the bill, and obviously it's red, so we're going to be able to see the new grease, which is nice. I'm also going to be using some shop towels. I don't think this is going to be a super messy job, but there is grease involved. And then the last thing I'm going to be using are these mechanics gloves that I actually got sent by one of my subscribers. Thank you, Ghost Town Sherry. I don't think I've had a pair of work gloves that actually fit like a glove. These are finally my actual size, extra small, and I'm excited to break them in today, so thank you, Sherry. I'm gonna start by getting my grease gun ready. Okay, so just for fun, let's try pumping some grease. There we go. So I got the pump to work, so now let's get underneath the truck. So like I said before, my Tacoma has 2 Zerk fittings, and again, both are on the front drive shaft. And in these 4-wheel drive Tacomas, the transfer case and the front drive shaft are a little bit closer to the driver's side, so I'm going to be working more on this side because it's easier to get to. Alright, so here is the back of my truck for perspective, and then the front, of course. And here is my front drive shaft where it connects to the front differential. And I have it in 2-wheel drive right now, and you can actually kind of see the Zerk fitting over here, but I'm going to rotate it freely. And here is one of the Zerk fittings, very easy to access. The other one's definitely more difficult to access, but let me see if I can show you. Okay, so for reference, the first Zerk fitting that I just showed you was over here, And now I am sort of right above the exhaust pipe. The annoying thing is there's this plate right here, as you can see. But for easier access, I might remove these two bolts. But if you can see, there's the front drive shaft again, and if I rotate it, you can probably see way in there is our second Zerk fitting. Obviously, this one's much harder to get to because of this plate, so there's not a lot of room to work, but you can stick your hand behind it, and there is a little bit of room, but like I said, I might end up removing this plate. So first things first, I'm gonna start on this fitting that is much easier for me to get to, and I'm going to actually clean it off with one of my shop towels because the last thing I wanna do is put more dirt and contaminants in this U-joint. As you guys could see, they didn't even look silver before, which they're supposed to be silver. Okay, so now I've got the grease gun on the Zerk fitting, and I'm going to give it a couple of pumps. So as I was squeezing, you can probably see some of the blackish grease that came out on the left there, but once it got mixed into the red, that's when I knew I was done. So I just finished that one fitting, and I wanted to show you guys a little sample. Here's some of the black grease mixed in with a tiny bit of red that came out of that first fitting. I think it took about 6 pumps. I can't remember exactly, but all I know is that second fitting is definitely going to be a lot harder to get to. So let's get into that right now. Sorry for the awkward angle, but if you could see up there, I saw black grease come out, and then a couple pumps later, I saw some red, so we're good. I think this is gonna be easy to clean if I just turn the drive shaft, because I have a tiny bit of room up here. The only thing is you guys can't see it, but I know you guys saw all of this grease come out. So I just finished, and as you guys saw, this is a pretty easy maintenance item to do, so I will definitely be adding it to my list, and I think it's something I will do every single oil change. The only thing I would say that I haven't already said in the video, and I guess kind of a tip to anyone who's doing this for the first time, kind of like I was, is to have a grease gun with a fitting that isn't just the push type, because this was kind of annoying to fit onto the Zerk fittings. It was also kind of hard to pull off, and I also noticed that there was a lot of excess grease, and I don't know if this fitting just wasn't perfect, but it also kind of just shot grease out the sides of the Zerk fitting. Let me know what you guys think, but overall, again, even with this fitting, it was still really easy to do. Thanks so much for watching. I want to hear in the comments down below if you've ever done this on your truck, or do you have a Tacoma with a certain trim or certain year that's completely sealed and so you have no Zerk fittings. But other than that, if you want to connect more with me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It is at ChloeKuoTaco. I post more Tacoma content and content in real time on there. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I hope we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!